Welcome to the Waterboy and Equipment Manager podcast. My name is Saif Basaria.
My name is Shaban Samani.
I'm Kay Sharanya.
And I'm Asad Alani.
And listener, if you missed us last week, we joined the Spotlight Sports Network. So you might be watching us on the YouTube channel at Spotlight Sports Network on YouTube. Or you're watching us on our YouTube channel or one of our socials, which is at WBEMPOD. That's Web and Pod on Instagram and Twitter, and the Waterboy and Equipment Manager podcast on YouTube. Now that the housekeeping is out the way, earlier today, the remainder of the All-Star team, the reserves, were announced, and Shabo just tried to house a yawn, and it didn't work. His eyes are completely watery now. Listener, we're recording at about 10 p.m. Eastern time. It's not that late. Shaban's just that old. It's fine. So as I was saying, we got the All-Star reserves earlier this evening, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about the All-Star team, the All-Star reserves. We'll do a little trade deadline talk as some more rumors and news has come out in the last week since we last spoke to you, listener. Before that, I warn you for what is to come next, because honestly, I'm actually not sure what is to come next. Kaiz and Asad, separately, independent of one another, have created their own unique individual segments and then asked to do it on the pod today without really telling us what it is. So Shout and I are completely in the dark here.
I'm high five for this, man.
Oh, I'm excited for it. I just have no idea where we're going, which is we're gonna be handheld to find out. So flip of a coin, Kaiz has 10 years. So Asad, you're gonna go first on your segment, and then Kaiz, you can just follow it up after the segment. That Asad is.
You want a drum roll, Asad, before you introduce it?
No, I'll just get into it. We need a drum roll for yours, or I don't know, maybe some Xanax. I don't know what's gonna happen with you guys. So
I guarantee you want to be level-headed for my segment.
Okay.
Fair
All
enough.
right, that sounds good.
All right.
So my segment is, we've kind of teased this in the last two episodes because usually there will be some player mentioned that is on my fantasy team and I will aggressively complain about them. So I was like, hey, why not make a legitimized space for me to vent about my fantasy team, but also provide some advice for the rest of the listeners. So we're going to kick off Asad's Fantasy Corner officially this week. So for today's episode, I'm going to talk about two guys that have actually been performing really, really well, both on the court and also fantasy wise. And one of them is a guy that I traded away. So it's tough.
You actually get trades done in your fantasy basketball league. That alone is kind of awesome. I'm in a league right now, or I think all three of us are in that league. Are we not?
Yeah, it's impossible to get anything
A
done.
trade is
I'm
not
a co-owner.
trade is never gonna happen. It just
Aren't you my co-owner?
Yeah, I'm your
Are
co-owner.
you even on the team?
No.
Dude, are you on the team? I set my lineup on Monday for the entire week, and then I don't look at it until the next Monday.
Yeah. No, that league, there's three dudes in that league that need to be kicked out, and it's
God.
I'm one of them, and I'm the commissioner.
Well, at least you're if I remember correctly, your record's decent, which means you're winning games somehow.
I think I'm at
way.
500.
Dude, we have a team with one win. It's like 1 in 12 or 13.
I'm pretty sure they beat me.
That's pretty sad.
I had like
fair enough.
15 people out for COVID, bro.
Yeah.
We all
Leave me
won.
alone.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, 2 and 13, listener. Just
Two in there.
one.
I'm the inverse of that. I'm 13-2. So
Yeah, did you have to pick up G League guys from the waiver wire in fantasy?
No, I
as
said
well?
fuck it. I'm gonna sit here and lose.
Yeah, I kind of just waited it out. to
Safe
be
had
honest.
26 games played last week.
Yeah, out of 40. It was fucking atrocious. If I just played the normal amount of games, let's say 35 instead of
I'd win.
26, I would have won. But anyway, Asad's Fantasy Corner. Asad, lead us off, man.
So the guy that I traded away that I was very, very high on, and for good reason, was DeJounte Murray. So DeJounte Murray, when I'll explain the trade of what happened.
What did you get?
Okay, hold on. All right, so let's let the listeners know why DeJounte Murray, he's good
This
in real
is
life.
screaming lack of preparation on Asad's end here. Like, dog, you
No,
can't
you're just
say
killing my
I
rhythm
want
by
Asad's
interrupting me,
fantasy
fool.
corner and then
You-
not have it.
Listen. Asad, you cannot tell us you're gonna debut something, say something like I traded away DeJounte Murray in probably his best season of his career so far, and expect us to just gloss over it like no big deal just happened.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. But then there's no the lack of preparation comment was hurtful because I do have something prepared. Just got shot out of what I was about to do. So DeJounte Murray is averaging 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists this season, having a career year. And the thing that makes DeJounte Murray so good in fantasy is his steals. He averages 2 steals a game, which is ridiculous for fantasy.
So that's all in well. What did you get for him?
So it was a 3v, or I gave up 2 players and got 3 in return. So I gave up Miles Turner and DeJounte Murray. Okay, Miles Turner is out for 3 months. So
that's fine. Those are 2 of my favorite players.
And then in return, I got Terry Rozier, Karl Anthony Towns, and Devin Vassell.
Who?
Devin Vassell is a waiver wire player.
I know who he is.
He's irrelevant now, but
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you
lost.
You lost.
Okay.
Technically, yes. Really, no.
But here's the point that I want to bring with this is even though the guys that I traded away are better players, it's all about how you build your team. For me, Miles Turner was the only guy on my team getting blocks. I didn't need blocks. I was losing every other week, even with Miles Turner. So there was no point of me keeping his blocks. Those stats are irrelevant to me. Same thing with DeJounte Murray. I was punting assists because my assist guys all got hurt. So, or they were like waiver wire guys and I had to drop them. So I had to capitalize and get more efficiency. And that's what I got in threes, just what I got in Karl Anthony Towns and Terry Rozier. So,
okay, so what are we doing with the segment? Are we just here to judge your bad trades?
He's just going to complain. That's all it is. That's all he wants to do.
Yeah, last thing I'll complain about Jared Vanderbilt's free throw percentage, but other than that, he's phenomenal.
Jared Vanderbilt.
Jared Vanderbilt. That's what. It's the All-Star episode. Asa. Come on, man.
Hey, Jared Vanderbilt's a great player. Okay, he may not be an All-Star, but he's a great player, and he's contributing to Minnesota's success. So I'm gonna leave it.
If you're watching on YouTube, listener, you just saw the face Asad made. He doesn't believe what he just said. You don't believe it.
What? Jared Vanderbilt's a great player. What are you talking about?
Do you understand what the word "great player" means?
Yeah.
Great.
Was he an all-star consideration?
Great player.
Okay, fine. He's a great role player. Sorry, I'll add the modifier.
I want the
that
caveat.
works.
He's an average role player.
All right, so just to kind of recap, Asad's fantasy corner is in a weekly occurrence. Is that what we're doing here?
Yes.
I guess.
And you would like to talk about what? Just like fantasy generally?
Yeah, just a player who's doing well and one who's doing that. I was actually, now that you remind me, I was going to talk about somebody who is really good in real life, but does not also translate to fantasy. And I mean, we'll talk about him later, I'm sure, but John Morant. John Morant, phenomenal player, but he's ranked 78th in fantasy over the last month. So
he chucks up shots. That's why.
Chucks up shots, turnovers, no defensive stats, which are all very important in fantasy basketball.
In categories.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kaiz, your new segment, sir.
All right, it's not a new segment. It's a one-time deal.
Okay. All right.
I was very bored this week. So today we're going to play Who Holds the Record?
I'm not ready. I'm not mentally ready for this.
I'm going to keep track. I have 7 questions for you.
Okay.
1 bonus point. I'm going to keep score here just for shits. But so the first question is, in NBA history, who recorded the most dunks?
The most.
Yeah. Like this is like throughout their career or within like a season?
Total.
Okay, wait. I do want to ask: Is this like a bona fide, dude?
Used to be.
I'll
give you a hint. He's active.
Oh, he's active. Okay.
Most dunks and he's active?
Yes, sir.
Dwight Howard?
All right. Yes, sir. Dwight Howard.
That's a good guess.
Oh,
Very good guess.
1 point for us.
Very good.
Damn, that's a great guess.
You know what's even funnier is the second you said Dwight, I'm looking at I have the standings right in front of me, the NBA, and I'm looking at Orlando going.
I realized I couldn't.
And then you said Dwight, and I was like,
I can't trust you guys. You have too many screens.
I have the standings in front of me just so I remember all the NBA teams.
All right.
That's all it is.
In NBA history, who has made the most free throws?
Who has made the most throws?
Is it James Harden? Is it that easy?
That's way off.
It can't be James Harden. Not right.
Why
now.
couldn't it be?
He is no longer in the NBA, but he still holds the record.
Steve Nash?
No.
No.
Don Stockton?
No.
Who am I thinking about?
All right. Y'all are struggling. He played
Karl
with
Malone.
John Stockton.
Karl
Yes,
Karl
sir.
Malone. Yeah. Okay.
Also, your glasses kind of sell you out.
What do you mean? I'm not doing it.
I saw the tabs change. I saw
didn't
the
see-
tabs change. You looked down, the screen went white, and the tabs changed.
No, seriously, I don't have anything. Like all I have is
you
all I have is
sussy
basketball.
chungus.
No, all I have is
All right,
basketball reference
We'll
and all
stick
offense
with
and all
free
star.
throws. In a single season, you get the name is going to give you 1 point, and if you guess the percentage, I will give you a bonus point.
Okay.
Best free throw percentage over a full season.
Steph
Steve
Curry.
Nash. Steve
Wrong.
Nash, 94%.
Wrong.
Did I get either one of those right?
No, you're way off.
Steph Curry, 95%.
Way off.
Ray Allen, 96%.
No. I'll give you a hint. The player is a billionaire.
What?
And he is not American or Canadian.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk Nowitzki.
No. All right, so no points on that one. The player is Jose Calderon.
Oh, we would
Jose
have never got that
Calderon.
shit. We would have
Okay.
never guessed that shit.
Yeah.
Guess the percentage.
98.
98.1.
Oh my god.
Bonus point.
That's
You
ridiculous.
you can't get a bonus point if you don't get the original question.
Okay, well, you said if you get the percentage right, then you get a bonus point. So I thought I got a bonus point.
All right. All right, and then I'll give you two more.
Wait,
I
hold
don't
on,
feel
hold
like
on. 98%?
98.1%.
Yeah, what's
Did
the
you check-
attempts?
Yeah. Did you see how many he shot?
262 free throws.
Damn, that's impressive.
Playing for the Raptors.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Damn,
Who
good
has
for
the most technical fouls in NBA history? This is a layup.
him. Draymond Green?
Draymond Green.
Oh no.
DeMarcus
Dwight
Cousins?
Howard.
No.
Dwight Howard.
Russell Westbrook?
No.
Carmelo Anthony?
He has won a ring, I think, with two teams, both in the East.
Two teams in the East. Kevin Garnett? No, he's only won one ring.
Played for Detroit and Boston.
Well, Rasheed
Rasheed
Wallace.
Wallace.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, suck it, Shaban. Suck
We
it.
said at the same time.
Safe got it out first.
Let's go. Sheed.
And then, all right, last one. This is a hard one. I'm not going to lie. Who holds the record?
Was so easy.
That was, I thought it was.
You're a liar.
Most assists in a single game.
Scott Skiles.
Yeah, Scott
Yes,
Skiles.
sir.
It's like
Bonus
32 or something, right?
Close.
31, 33.
33.
Yeah, I was like, I knew it was like right around there.
And then last but not least, this is literally a give me for anybody. Most threes made in the game.
Steph Curry.
Klay
Wow.
Thompson.
Klay Thompson.
Oh,
14.
dude, yeah.
So
Fuck.
with the bonus point.
Damn, that's what's up. Oh,
Yeah,
Dawson
so-
won?
No, it's safe. You won. You got Scott Skiles and the 33 to put you one ahead of both of them.
So, boy, what's up, Asad?
Did you say 32 first? But okay.
I mean, he guessed
Sure.
33 though.
He didn't say you only get one shot.
That's true. Okay. Fair
I'm
point.
usually very nice with it. I thought this was interesting. I had fun with it. I was
thought-
fucking
yeah, It was
around.
fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like this.
So, listener, hopefully you enjoyed the two segments by Kaiz and Asad. Now we're going to talk about the All-Star game. So, like I said before, the All-Star reserves were announced earlier this evening. Obviously, the All-Star starters were announced a week prior. Shaban and Asad were not here on the episode when we did All-Star starters. So I think that it would only be right to have them quickly talk about the All-Star starters. I think it'd be fair to assume that neither one of you have a problem with the Eastern Conference being Trae Young, DeMar DeRozan, Giannis, Durant, and Joel Embiid. I assume you guys are both completely okay with that.
Yep.
I assume the only rant you want to have is about one specific person in the Western Conference. So the Western Conference All-Star starters, just to remind you, listener, Ja Morant, Steph Curry, LeBron, Jokic, and the infamous now Andrew Maple Jordan Wiggins. Do either one of you guys want to talk about this at all, or do you guys want to jump into the reserves?
I mean, just the quick point that I'm sure that we both have is just the fact that I think the fan vote is just too inflated at this point. Like the weight that it holds does not make any sense. And now you have all these delusional ass Warriors fans who have just crazily voted Andrew Wiggins into an all-star starter spot that any of other guy, there's a bunch of other guys that in the reserves that deserve that spot. And also because of the way the league does the positions, I think that should be abolished as well. They should just pick the 5 best guys because, I mean, just because you're a guard for your Luka or Devin Booker, you know, you deserve a spot in the starter definitely over Andrew Wiggins.
Well, I don't know about abolishing positions per se. I mean, I do think they could be like reworked in some way, but not case. But yeah, Andrew Wiggins being an all-star starter is a fucking travesty. And I mean, hey, congratulations to the goals fans. They showed up for the boy. Strangely not for Draymond Green though, which is super weird. Who I think like even more of a case to be an all-star starter over Drew Wiggins.
Ooh,
But
am I on acid or is Shaban dead ass laggy kind of here?
Okay, yeah, I was about to text the chat because I heard some doubling up there.
Yeah.
That's okay. I think the sentiment is Draymond Green should have been a starter. Andrew Wiggins is an absolute travesty.
So on Draymond Green real quick, when they announced the reserves,
we're gonna talk about this. So if you want to hold off, let's do it, but we'll get there. Because I know what you're gonna say, and it's gonna be very funny. So let's jump into the reserves because let's do West. Let's do West first. The All-Star reserves that were announced for the Western Conference are Devin Booker, Luka Doncic, Rudy Gobert, Draymond Green, Donovan Mitchell, Chris Paul, and Karl Anthony Towns. Now, Case, say what you're going to say.
So Twitter went into a frenzy because, well, one, I don't want to spoil it, but they left somebody off that everyone wanted. And then everyone went and looked up Draymond Green's stats.
Oh, God.
Draymond is averaging 777s across
That's how you know you're a casual, though, right?
7 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. And Twitter was in an uproar about it. And I think what made it worse is that Draymond was on TNT as they were announcing the games.
Oh, yeah.
Because he is now officially contracted with TNT, by the way. Congratulations, Draymond. He got a big deal.
Yeah, big congrats
to join the NBA on TNT crew. I think it's hilarious. Twitter's uproar. They don't watch basketball at all.
A lot of casuals. A lot of casuals.
Yeah, like Draymond Green's impact cannot be. You can't just like, put it in a paper, like put it on paper, and you have to actually see what he does and to see what he brings to that team. And it's like the things that he does, the leadership he has, his pass, his playmaking, his intelligence with the ball, and his, those things you can't just put on paper on stats, right?
Shaban's on crack. I'm just convinced.
Please tell me you said the word "right" twice, because I'm tripping balls over here.
Yeah, dude, that's the weirdest audio connection. You need to figure something out. But in the meantime, Draymond Green, like Shaban said, his impact is significantly greater than what the stat sheet shows. I mean, honestly, Rudy Gobert suffers from a very similar thing, right? Rudy Gobert is another player who I think statistically is obviously better than Draymond Green on the stat sheet. However, both players are sorely misunderstood if that's the only thing you look at in the style of basketball in which they play. Anyway, so with the Western Conference, were there any surprises to this all-star team from UK's? Were you pretty content with what you saw from the reserves?
Yeah, I think. Well, I didn't see Karl Anthony Towns. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's fair. Who would you rather have put in this spot?
Well, his teammate Anthony Edwards, and the guy Asad so foolishly traded away, Dejounte Murray. And I feel like if we combined Wiggins and Cat, both of them could get in easy.
What?
So look, one of them is going to get in because Draymond just said he's not playing. So who knows? One of them will get in. Who will it be? I don't know. I
think that's the interesting part. And let's talk to you about this. Draymond did say on TNT Live that he does not intend to play in the All-Star game.
He does not plan on playing at all.
Yep. Exactly. So he's going to miss out. They're going to replace him. Some of the kind of names that come to mind, obviously DeJounte Murray is one. Apparently, Anthony Davis is another. I'm more than happy to jump behind that if that's an option here.
No.
Why not?
Who else sticks out to you in this position? Who should jump in here? Or is it DeJounte Murray? Is he the clear cut?
I think
DeJounte
Murray
Murray's
is
number
the
one.
clear cut.
Yeah, he's number one on my list as well. I mean, I think that Jaren Jackson deserves some mention here just because of the way, I mean, the Warriors have 3 All-Stars, right? So the Warriors have 3, the Suns have 2. Memphis is the number 3 seed. They're above Utah. Utah has 2 All-Stars. I mean, I think obviously Rudy Gobert's impact is greater than Jaren Jackson's, but I mean, looking at who was left on this list and the way they do All-Stars now, I think Jaren Jackson at least deserves to be in the conversation. I think he's played well enough as their defensive anchor. Now Jaren Jackson playing in the 5, since they only play Steven Adams 15 to 20 minutes a game. Their closing lineup is with Jaren Jackson as their defensive focal point. And offensively, he's really good too. He's been shooting really well. Being able to space the floor, running pick and roll with John Morant. They're a fantastic duo. So I think DeJounte Murray is the number 1 based off the way he's performed this season. And especially over the last month, he's averaging 23 a game, 9 rebounds, 10 assists. Those are phenomenal numbers. He just plays on a shit San Antonio team. Otherwise, he would have an All-Star spot.
That's fair.
Yeah. First of all, how's my audio sound for first of all?
It had a little crackle there again.
At the end, yeah.
It had a little crackle. We'll keep an eye on it, and I'll keep you updated on what changes. DeJounte Murray, I think, is the option here. I think it completely depends on the NBA structure on the All-Star reserves. To my knowledge, there's 2 guards, 2 forwards, a big man, and 2 wild cards. Now, it depends on how they treat Draymond Green on the position that he is currently occupying or will be occupying.
You need a total of 6 front court players.
Are you asking me?
I'm telling you.
Yeah, sound like you were asking me.
But when we say front court and back court, I get confused because front court's the big
man. You could say big man and you could say guards. That's kind of where we're at in the NBA anyway.
So you have to have 6, I think. 4s and 5s.
Okay.
It has to be even.
Last year, though, when Anthony Davis was injured, right? They replaced
Booker came in for him.
Yeah, they replaced him with Devin Booker. So from what I understood, I don't think that it mattered of who.
So it doesn't matter.
Replace. Yeah, like.
Would you guys have been opposed to Paul George?
Well, he's not playing
because he's hurt.
He's not playing.
Well, yeah.
I think that's the issue with Paul George is and I mean, maybe we're jumping the gun here a little bit with Jimmy Butler, but Paul George has been injured and has no set date to return at all, right? So then there was really no point. I get like, is there really a point to name him, for the significance or whatever?
The accolade, maybe.
Yeah, but for him but he's not going to play in the game anyway, and that for sure. So then what's the point? You might as well give that spot to someone who's actually going to play in the game.
I actually go the other way, Asad. That's interesting that you think that way.
I think
so
if you think he played well enough to be one, you give it to him, then you replace him.
Exactly. Yeah. And that way you recognize the talent while also giving someone. It's like getting 2 spots, right? You're getting 2 spots instead of the 1 spot by giving it to him, knowing he's
like
not going to play.
Theoretically, instead of you naming 12 players, you get to name 14.
Exactly, and I think that's really cool. I mean, look, they named Draymond, and Draymond has not played basketball in.
That's what I'm saying.
2 weeks, so it's the same situation. Just replace Draymond with Paul George, for example. The Western Conference, I'm pretty okay with. I want to talk about snubs, but I'm not really sold. I don't think there really was a snub.
We just hit on DeJounte Murray,
right? But even then, the argument would be like a snub, at least the way and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but the term snub, the way I see it is you definitely deserved it and you didn't get it. Yeah. And it's bullshit that you didn't get it. Yeah. And DeJounte Murray, I don't think falls into that. He deserves it, but I don't know about definitely. Like him missing out is not the end of the world, and he'll probably still get in, like we discussed. So the West, I don't think I'm pretty happy. Minus Wiggins, let's be honest. Minus Wiggins, I'm quite happy with this. Asad, I know you looked it up before we started recording here today. How did we do on our predictions? How close were we to this? Obviously, nobody called Wiggins, so I'm not too upset about that one there.
Yeah.
But besides that, we called the team.
Yeah, we got the entire West right for the most part.
Sick.
Who did we miss?
I didn't call Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, we didn't call Towns.
I think we missed Cat.
I had called Towns. I had Towns on my list.
Okay, so at least one of us did, which is a win in my book. Because I'm looking at my reserves. I had Luka, CP3, Gobert. No, I did have Towns. That's a lie. I had
Yeah,
Towns
I
and
thought we
Booker.
all had Towns.
I did have Towns. Yeah.
Or maybe one of us didn't have a Towns. Maybe K's didn't
It
have
was
Towns.
probably K's. Let's be
Yeah,
honest. I'm not a fan.
No,
K's
I
not
didn't
a
have
big
it.
fan.
I didn't have Towns either. I had Paul George.
His audio is still weird. That's so weird.
George, Shaban, check your inputs.
Anyway, all right, let's jump over to the Eastern Conference. This is kind of where there's more topic of conversation from the reserves, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Asad, Shaba, and Kaiz, if you remember, I told you 2 weeks ago when we did the All-Star episode that the East was going to be harder than the West. And all of you basically disagreed with me. Well, you see my point. My point has now been proven because now we have more debate to do here again in the East. This is an interesting conversation piece. Let's talk about it. Jimmy Butler, Darius Garland, James Harden, Zach LaVine, Chris Middleton, Jason Tatum, and Fred VanVleet. So right off the bat, the first thing that sticks out to me, there are no bigs on this list. Not one big is on this list.
That's why the position thing, I question it because, right, like looking at this Eastern Conference team, like there was no balance of bigs. And so is
There
that really
was
a
no
requirement?
bigs.
Minus Embiid and Giannis, I guess.
That's the weird. Maybe they're counting on Durant to miss, and they'll add a big there.
Yeah, they are.
Durant will miss. Durant, I would be shocked.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're counting on
right.
Durant to miss.
Maybe you're right. Maybe they thought about that. That's actually a good point.
And then they'll move one of the reserve guards into a starter role because they have Giannis and Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
But the three front court players, though, right? I mean,
so move a forward and move Middleton and who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Like one of Tatum, Butler.
Yeah, you have forwards there. You just move them up.
Yeah.
Imagine if Chicago somehow gets Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan after all to start in the All-Star game. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, they definitely deserve it if that's the conversation worth having. Anyway, of the reserves, who surprised you, shocked you, made you happy? We can go in any direction you guys want to.
Shocked Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
That one was a bit shocking, I will say. And
I was not expecting that.
I think the important thing to say
I was also very surprised about Chris Middleton. I switched to my AirPod. Yeah, I switched
You're good
to my
now,
AirPods.
Huh. What a world.
Yeah, I switched off my Yeti.
Oh no, the Yeti.
The Yeti has failed me.
Chris Middleton was a bit surprising, I have to say. I don't have a
problem with it. It was just
like
weird.
He's a good player and he deserves to be here, but does he deserve to be here this season is a bit of a question.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
so you're looking stuff up. You're click-clacking away. What are you looking for?
I'm looking at the standings right now just to get a picture of. I knew that all of the East
They're
was close, but I just want to see how close they are. They're fourth now, but it's
like especially like I mean, you guys know how hard I was really pulling for Jared Allen to be part of the All-Star team. Also, no Sabonis either. That's pretty crazy.
I think the Sabonis one. The Pacers are 13th in the East, right? They're almost a lottery team. Like I just don't know how you can, unless someone like.
I mean, it's not about rewarding the team. He's been awesome.
I think team success matters.
Team success matters. Like Trey,
team success definitely matters.
Trey made the All-Star team just because his offensive numbers are outlandish.
If they were because we voted for him. That's why he made it.
In spite of his team standing, he made it.
Right. So I mean, obviously Sabonis didn't have the same fan support that Trey did. But also, if Sabonis was putting up really crazy numbers, I think it's the only way he could have gotten in based off where their team is right now.
I think Kaiz is onto something here. I think that there's a chance that they're gonna put in a Jared Allen after Kevin Durant definitely doesn't play. And that way they'll kind of hit that
button.
I'm disappointed. I really thought Jared Allen was gonna make it. I still think Jared Allen should have made it over Chris Middleton. I did not, for transparency's sake, I did not pick him to make the All-Star team 2 weeks ago when we did our picks. But he deserves it over Chris Middleton this season. I think that.
I'm shocked that there is no Charlotte Hornet on this team.
I'm shocked there's no LaMelo Ball. Fuck a Charlotte Hornet.
Yeah,
that's the next thing that we have to discuss. LaMelo Ball, I personally believe, is the biggest snub of the Eastern Conference.
Agreed.
For multiple reasons. The first of which, he's actually really fucking good this year. The second of which is the Hornets are also really good this year. Thank you, Kaiz.
Kaiz is Charlotte Hornets.
I know. And the third of which, the All-Star game is an entertainment product. There are few players in the NBA that will be more entertaining in an All-Star atmosphere than LaMelo freaking Ball.
I mean, we had
fits
this argument.
everything you want.
We had
It's
this
a lost
argument for Trey
opportunity.
last year, right? And I mean, Trey, as entertaining as he is, the
Well,
All-Star
see,
game wasn't
the
as
thing
fun.
with Trey last year was it was in Atlanta. He was having his best fucking season since getting in the league. And then it just kind of didn't go his way. I guess last year Kyrie also played, so
it felt like, so this happened to Trey. It happened to Ja last year as well, where Ja should have been in the consideration and fell short.
Damian.
Right? And
Bradley
Damian,
Beal Bradley Beal 2 years ago.
Yeah, so I just think
Bradley
that
Beal also.
it's the year before the year, and it feels like a lot of the coaches decided he's probably going to be an all-star a lot in his career. LaMelo, I'm talking about, right?
yeah.
Let's go ahead and hand it over to some of the other guys who are probably on the end tail of an all-star run.
Like Van Vliet.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Like Chris Middleton, how many more all-stars are we for sure he's going to get here? Jimmy Butler, he should be an all-star for a couple more years, but again, another guy who is, if he had missed 5 more games this NBA season, he might not have gotten to the all-star team this season, right? So certain guys like that, James Harden, again, he should be really fucking good, but there was a debate going into the all-star conversation about whether he deserved it or not. So there are a few guys here. I don't know.
There's
man.
also Jaylen Brown too.
I don't think Jaylen Brown deserved it. I really
don't think so either.
I'm not
Really?
too upset about Jaylen Brown not making this one. I'm really not. I think that first off, the Boston Celtics are a horrible basketball team this NBA season. They picked it up in the last 10 games. I will say
True.
that. Jason Tatum is better than Jaylen Brown. And therefore, I think it's just agreed upon by the coaches of the NBA. We're not going to give a terrible basketball team 2 all-stars. We're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
So we're going to give it to the better
It happened
guy.
it happened last year, right? I mean, the same thing happened where both Tatum and Brown made it, and the Celtics were the 8 or 9 seed at the time. They weren't that great.
Which didn't feel right last year either.
Yes.
As much as I like both those guys, I think we all like both those guys. It didn't feel right. We need to give props where props is due. And then teams like Toronto, who we did not expect to be better than the Boston Celtics the NBA season, and Fred VanVleet is a good reason for that, a big reason, Pascal as well. Freddie was a little surprising, I will say.
I had Fred on my list.
I know you did. It was surprising to me because I think the way that I viewed the All-Star situation is the way that we looked at the rules. And the rules were that there was only so many guards that could make it. And they were like, fuck the rules. We're bringing in extra guards is what they did. Right. And I still think LaMelo Ball,
only guards.
I still think LaMelo Ball deserves it over Fred VanVleet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the tiebreaker from the coaches were Freddie might only have this 1 year. LaMelo's going to have the next 10. So let's just go ahead and grab the guy who's probably less likely to do it again at an all-star level, even though he could, but less likely for sure than LaMelo Ball. I think we would all agree with that sentiment.
As good as LaMelo has been this year, I could make the argument that Fred has been better.
I'm sure you could. We're basketball podcasters. I'm sure that you could.
The Jimmy Butler ad.
Why don't you get Jimmy Butler? Jimmy Butler's been elite when he's
what do
played.
you mean?
They're the number 1
Look,
team in the East.
We said it. Look, no, the All-Star game is entertainment value. And I feel as though Jimmy only made it because Bam missed half the season. If we had to have a Miami
Jimmy's
Heat
only
player,
played like 5 more games than Bam.
exactly, that's what I'm saying. But they're number 1, so you got to give him somebody.
Yeah.
If I had to have a Heat player, I would have had Tyler Hero.
I mean, Jimmy Butler is better than Tyler Hero. I don't necessarily
He's
have
better. He's not more entertaining.
I mean, I disagree with you because I like Jimmy Butler. I know.
Yeah,
that
I
I'm
love
I'm a
Jimmy
defense
Butler.
guy.
You know I love Jimmy Butler.
So okay,
But an All-Star game is not about defense.
hear me out.
It
here.
is now, apparently, in the
If-
last few years. With
If
the
his
Elam
story, look, if history has anything to say with it, Jimmy Butler likely won't play in the All-Star game anyway.
Yeah,
you
he
guys
never
remember
plays
what
in the
happened
All-Star
last
game.
year? He showed
No.
up to the All-Star game and he was basically hungover and was like, "I'm not fucking playing." He literally told the coach, he was like, "Was this last year or the year before?" I think
it was
It was
the
2
year
years
before.
ago.
Was it the
2
year?
years ago.
Okay, so 2 years ago,
2020.
he told the coach, he's like, "Yo, don't fucking put me in. I'm not playing. Like I'm not fucking playing. I'm hungover as shit," which was hysterical, which was amazing to me. So don't worry about Jimmy. You probably, from an entertainment perspective, you likely won't even have to watch him play. Let's the other thing, I just came up with this. It might be a bad idea, but I think it'll be fun. Let's go through the reserves real quick, right? And on a scale of 1 through 5, how entertaining do you feel like they will be in the All-Star game? Okay. And let's just do this really quickly.
5 being very entertaining.
5 being some of the best things you've ever seen in the All-Star game.
Right,
Yes.
cool.
1 being I would be fine if they didn't play more than 4 minutes or whatever the minimum minutes.
Done.
Right? Cool. Jimmy Butler case.
1.
Awesome.
3.
That's a fucking cop out. You put the post in your mouth. Shaban.
No, I'll go with the solid 4. I like Jimmy.
I would go 2. I think from an all-star perspective, I think Kay's you're more closer to the outcome. Darius Garland. Shaban.
Okay, Darius Garland's a bucket. I'm hyped to see Darius Garland. He's a 4.
Asad.
4.
5.
5. I'm gonna go
If
with
he plays.
that's the big. So I was gonna say 4 if he plays, because
Oh,
we've learned in the
that's
past that
true.
younger guys may or may not play. It just depends.
He's also injured.
Oh, that's a good point. He is injured.
Oh yeah,
He is injured, and we don't
Yeah.
really have a timetable on that either.
I know my shit.
No, good point. It's a great point. All right, James Harden case.
Well, it's a 5. As much as I hate to say it,
Dang.
it's a 5.
Oh,
Really?
fuck you.
I
Whoa.
feel
Fuck
dirty.
you. All right.
Okay.
I feel dirty.
Asad.
Bro, I was gonna say a 2.
I'm gonna go with like a 2 as well.
I
Shaban.
was gonna go with the 2.
Okay, so James Harden and listener, I'm gonna let you in our group chat for a second here. Something we discussed as a group a few days ago, a little over a week ago actually. We wanted to see the All-Star game is in Cleveland. We wanted to see if the strip club scene was fire in Cleveland, and based on that, we could decide if James Harden would have a good All-Star game or not. We learned the strip club scene, at least from very minimal Googling by the 3 or 4 of us, is mediocre from my understanding.
All
in
right, so
Cleveland.
look, I'm gonna be a little bit misogynistic here.
Nah, please don't do that,
But
bro. No,
I've
bro.
done some digging.
No,
No,
No.
you gotta let me get
no,
this
we're
out.
not-
No,
no.
No,
you
this
don't
is
have to
not.
do
This is not the
anything.
Washington Wizards
Absolutely
fan
not.
space.
You cannot
no,
start a
no,
sentence.
you have to let me.
Listen, you cannot start a sentence that way and then expect to let us allow you to finish that sentence.
I am a
Absolutely
host
not.
on this podcast. You will let me fucking speak.
Absolutely not, Case.
No,
absolutely
we're doing
not.
this and we're doing it now. I've done research and I went to All-Star Weekend after the game last year. They fly in girls for All-Star Weekend. So the strip club clean, while mediocre during the regular season, is popping during All-Star Weekend.
Okay, so I'm going to do my best to navigate that. And so I'm going to say, in that case, James Harden is now lower on the list. From a 2, I'm putting him as a 1, entertainment-wise, based on the new information that Case has now delivered to us that I don't want to talk about more than we already have. Anyway, Zach LaVine, however, is an absolute 5 for me.
3.
Oh, Zach LaVine's a 5.
5.
3.
5. Wait, 3.
Zach LaVine is going to be the guy that gets those fucking sick dunks. Are you kidding me? Come on.
Yeah,
Be
dude,
fun.
like it's gonna be James Harden lobbing it up to Zach LaVine.
Except for if Trae Young decides not to pass to Zach LaVine, because that would be hilarious. He's like, you took my spot last year. Fuck you. That'd be hysterical. Chris Middleton is like
A 1.
a 1.
Maybe a 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. A 1.5.
1.5. Fuck it.
There you go, Case. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I'll give
We're
him
on
a
the same
half.
page.
I'll give him a half for some of the contested jump shots.
Bonus-
that he made.
the bonus
They're
point.
good jump shots.
All right, Jason Tatum is I don't even know where to go. Like, sure, I'll pull in us a 3. How about that? Asad, are you also?
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, I was. The reason why I say 3 is because he literally could be a 1 or he could be a 5.
Exactly why
He
a 3
could
makes
go
sense.
off and hit some crazy, absurd step back shots, or he will take those shots and just miss the fuck out of all of them.
Yeah, I completely
And
agree.
either way, I'm gonna enjoy that shit. 4.
With you. I like it, Case. Shaban, what did you say? 3?
Yeah, I said a 3.
Fred Van Vliet is the last Eastern Conference All-Star. My entertainment rating for Freddie is a 1 because I don't think he's gonna
Yeah,
play. He's not gonna play.
I give it a 1.
I don't think he's gonna.
I love the
play.
dude, but it's a 1.
He's not gonna play.
Nah.
That's kind of why. Let's jump to the West real quick, and then we have a couple other things we want to talk about. Devin Booker is gonna be like a 4 in the All-Star game.
3.
Oh,
3,
sure.
3,
I think he's a 4.
4. Okay, cool. Luka Doncic. I think it depends on what he has for lunch that day. So let's say
Yeah.
I'll say a 4 because I think Luka's fun to watch generally. I just don't know his. You know the thing with Luka that's weird is he clearly is an outsider a lot of the time when it comes to these all-star events, and so I feel like it's hard to tell if the rest of the basketball players like him enjoy playing ball with him. I'm not saying that they don't. It's hard to tell for me personally.
What's the
Besides
Cavaliers
Trey
Stadium
clearly,
called?
Luka and Trey clearly have a good relationship.
It's
Uh,
Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Quicken Loans Arena, is it not Quicken Loans anymore?
It's
Rocket
Rocket
Mortgage
It's
by
Rocket
Quicken
Mortgage.
Loans.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, all right. So Shaban, resident Mavs fan, Luka's entertainment value in the All-Star game will be a number.
I'll say a 4.
Of course you will. Asad?
I expect him to not eat healthy like normal Luka, so I'm gonna say 2.
Fair enough. Case?
There is a McDonald's 0.4 miles from the stadium. I'm gonna give it a 4.
What? Those two things don't even correlate.
He
Whatever.
plays better on a shitty
Whatever.
diet. What do you mean?
Rudy Gobert, if I could give less than a
1.
1, I would give less than a 1.
You know what? I'm
Yeah,
gonna give him
yeah,
less than a
0.
1. 0. Like the amount of games we had after you said COVID's not real, you French fuck.
Fair enough.
Jesus.
Draymond
Yes, I'm
Green.
still angry. People.
Draymond Green not
Yes.
playing in the All-Star game. Instead, we can talk about Andrew Wiggins. How fun will Andrew Wiggins be in the All-Star game?
He's gonna be
No,
a
I think
1
he'll- I think
simply
he'll be-
because he's
I-
not gonna pass.
2.
No, I think he'll be fun. I think he'll be a solid 4. I think he'll bust out some dunk. Andrew Wiggins has some hops. I think
Maple
he'll bust
Jordan?
out some pretty cool, some pretty good dunks.
I think he'll be excited to play. I mean,
What if Jimmy Butler ego chows him again?
No,
Then it's a 5. Then
would
it's an
make it a 5.
absolute 5. I love
No,
that.
because he's just gonna collapse.
So did you give a rating on Andrew Wiggins?
I was gonna say 2, but I'm changing it to 4. I think he's gonna play with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Like he'll hear that people are talking shit about his spot that we know that he shouldn't have had, but I think he's gonna come out and try to prove us all wrong.
Andrew Wiggins is a 1 because I'm not convinced. Something we saw last year and the year before is that they don't actually allow you to play if they don't want you to play. Chris Paul
Yeah.
closed out the game last year and was not voted an All-Star last year and the year before that. So my assumption is that the next guy, Donovan Mitchell, will get way more minutes than Andrew Wiggins. I think he deserves them anyway. So Donovan Mitchell, I think, is going to be a 5. I think he's going to be fun in the All-Star game a lot. Kays, what do you think about Donovan Mitchell?
I'll give him a 5.
Asad?
5.
Shawan?
5.
Hey,
Easy 5.
unanimous decision. Chris Paul. I don't know how to feel about Chris Paul, but he throws a lot of lobs, so I'll give him a 4. How about that?
3.
4.
I'll give him a 4. He was really entertaining in the last especially when he caught a lob on his own and he went to an ice bath immediately after.
And the last member of the Timberwolves that didn't work out reunion, Karl Anthony Towns. I think he's going to be like a 2 because I don't really know what he's going to do in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm
Case?
with you on that.
2? Asad?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 3.
I mean, Cat's an entertaining player to watch. I just don't know what he's going to do.
Did he
with the
play
All-Star game.
last year in the All-Star game? No, right?
He wasn't an All-Star
I don't
last
think
year.
he was an
an
Or
All-Star
2
last
years ago. He was an All-Star before.
Yeah, this is a third
I
All-Star selection.
I don't think he played the last time.
I don't remember. Anyway,
yeah.
Shaman, what's your
Change
what's
my
your
answer.
number?
1.
1. Shaman, what's your answer real quick before we move?
I'll make it a 2.
A 2. Okay, cool. Let's jump into a couple other things I wanted to talk to you guys about. Did you guys know that they brought out new trophies for All-Star Weekend today?
They're rings, right?
Well, so
Yeah.
so first off, I didn't know this. I don't think anyone knew this, to be quite honest. They've been doing rings since 1984.
Bullshit.
What?
I have been watching
says
basketball since
on
1999.
NBA.com's website where they posted this NBA All-Star Game rings. As is custom since 1983, NBA All-Star rings are awarded to players in recognition of their selection to the game. Design details as follows. And then they go into the design of it. They've apparently been doing it on NBA's website. I'm not making this up.
This is the first time I'm hearing of it.
83. I've never heard of this in my life before. I've never heard of that. That's the wildest thing. I mean,
See,
the ring.
back then they didn't have Twitter, so we wouldn't know.
I mean,
But we've
they-
had
they've been
Twitter
doing it-
for a while.
Yeah, it's like
There's-
we've never heard of the All-Star rings ever.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of wild. Or at least no one.
Is
in this
that why
podcast-
Damian Lillard was so mad he got snubbed?
'cause he
Now
just
he'll
wanted
never
ring.
get a ring.
Oh no.
Um,
The poor man's injured, man. Why you gotta put him down like
leave
that?
Damian alone. Anyway, So
Everyone's fair game.
Leave Damian alone.
after the passing of Kobe, they renamed the MVP All-Star MVP trophy to the Kobe Bryant Trophy, the key NBA All-Star MVP trophy. This year they redesigned the trophy, and it's going to be a whole new trophy. And if you haven't seen it yet, listener, Google it, check it out. It looks gorgeous. Now I'm going to read you some of the stuff about it because I think it's really, really, really cool. And it's Kobe, so I'm going to have my moment. You guys can go fuck yourself if you don't like it. As previously announced, the Commissioner All-Star Trophy has been permanently named the late Kobe Bryant, the All-Star. The new Kobe Bryant Trophy further celebrates its namesake with intricate details holding dual meaning both for the NBA All-Star and Bryant's legendary career. They are as follows. The base. The 8-sided base represents the 8 decades of NBA All-Star games and is a nod to Bryant's number 8 jersey. The 18 stars around the trophy represents his 18 All-Star selections. The base height of 2 inches is a nod to Bryant's 2002 Kia NBA All-Star MVP trophy. The level 1 is there are 24 stars that represent all the All-Stars in the game, as well as Kobe's 24 jersey number. The 7-inch height is a nod to Bryant's 2007 NBA All-Star MVP. Level 2, the 10 stars represent the All-Star game starters and Bryant's USA basketball number. The 9-inch height is a nod to Bryant's 2009 Kia NBA All-Star MVP. Level 3, the 5 stars represent the unity of the NBA team and Bryant's 5 NBA championships. The 11-inch height is a nod to his 2011 Kia NBA All-Star MVP. And level 4, the last level, a single star represents the star of Bryant winning the Maurice Polodoff Trophy for the 2007-2008 Kia NBA MVP award. The 2-inch height of the final star represents Bryant's 2 Bill Russell trophies as the NBA Finals MVP. Is that not the coolest trophy? Is that not freaking awesome?
Hey,
Badass.
whoever
Dude,
designed that
looks
shit,
sick.
let me buy you a drink, bro.
I mean, dude,
let me buy you
hats-
8. Fuck it.
Hats off. Incredible trophy design. Did you guys look it up? Did
Very
you get
well
a chance
done.
to check it out?
It's so fucking
looking
nice.
at
I
it
saw
beautiful.
I saw the tweet thread. Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah,
It's a
it looks
beautiful trophy.
incredible. They made new trophies for all the other.
Well, yeah, I'm
events,
gonna go
too.
through it now. They made it for every event, but obviously this is the big one. This is the one that obviously
This is the one we give a fuck about.
this is the one that we care about because obviously it's Kobe. Yes, like Shaban said, they reintroduced new trophies. The All-Star Slam Dunk Championship trophy, I think looks fucking sick. Although it gives me Universal designs.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Universal, what's it called?
Yeah,
Universal
right.
Studios.
Universal Studios, like
Universal
the globe
Studios.
and like the logo around
Yeah.
it.
So that trophy, they actually recycled the design for the Slam Dunk Champion, the 3-point champion, the Skills Challenge champion, the Clorox Rising Stars MVP. Clorox, is that new?
Clorox.
It's COVID
Dude,
season.
that
COVID
shit
era,
is
baby,
clean,
yeah.
bro.
Clorox making too much money, I guess. So yes, that trophy is now, I mean, obviously what it says on the inside is going to be different, but the trophy looks the same for all 4 of those, but new. A 14-inch crystal shaped column, 24 karat gold basketball on the inside. That's fucking cool. That's so cool. Then they're doing rings, which we thought were new. Apparently they're not new. They've been around for 30 fucking years or more at this point. The Clorox Rising Stars champ team gets like a plaque, basically. It's like a glass plaque. And the Celebrity Game MVP, I think, gets one of the coolest trophies besides the Kobe Bryant trophy. It's literally like a crystal 250 millimeter faced crystal basketball. MVP is 3D laser etched and suspended in the ball's center.
That's fucking fire. I'm looking
That
at
looks
Whoa,
sick.
that's
I would-
sick.
And listener, as you can tell, it is a really cool trophy. Go Google it. It's very cool. I thought we should at least discuss the trophies. They're not the most exciting thing in the world besides the Kobe Bryant trophy, which is the most exciting thing in the world. But otherwise, very, very, very cool. Other than that, the All-Star game, which is coming up in a couple of weeks, I don't think anything's changed about the game, right? We're playing 3 quarters, and then we're doing the Elam ending where you have to play to 24 points. Is that right? Am I mistaken there?
I think so. They haven't
I think-
announced anything.
They're keeping the Kobe Bryant tribute, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, which I could be. I don't know. The actual All-Star game is February 20th, Sunday, 8 p.m. Hopefully it'll be a good one. Hopefully it'll be fun. the last thing I want to talk to you guys about today is something that I'm clearly obsessed with Kay's. I don't know if he's an annoyed, bothered, or just looking forward to it to be over with, but the trade deadline is something I can't
I
get
want it
enough
to
of.
end so you'll shut up.
Which is fair, which is pretty fair. But hopefully, listener, you enjoy it because that's why we do it. And also, I like talking trade, let's be honest. So what I wanted to do is quickly go through some of the names that are either talked about being moved or most likely to be moved between now and the trade deadline, which is a week from today as we recorded, listener. For you, maybe a little less than a week at this point. I wanted to get a percentage chance that they will get traded from each of you. And let's say if you go over 65% traded or 60%, give me an ideal destination. Somewhat realistic, somewhat just fun basketball fit. Fair?
Cool.
Let's go ahead and start with the obvious. Ben Simmons of the Philadelphia 76ers. What is the percentage chance he gets traded between now and the trade deadline, February 10th, next Thursday? Shaban.
0.
0%.
Like less than 0. Yeah, like it's not
I'm
happening.
shocked. Asad?
15%.
Case?
I'm with Shaban 0.
0%.
I don't see it. I think Daryl Morey's a dumbass for letting it go this long. And now it's just going to go on even longer.
Like the only deal that Daryl Morey can get for Ben Simmons is 80 cents on the dollar, and he's not going to do that because he wants James Harden.
I actually think the chance of Ben Simmons getting traded before the deadline is higher than all of you guys combined because the combined is like 15. I think it's a coin flip. I think it's literally 50-50. I think that if Daryl gets the call at, I think the deadline's what, 6 p.m. Eastern, or is it 3 p.m. Eastern?
4 p.m. Eastern.
4 p.m. Eastern. Thank you.
That's
If
right.
he gets the call at 3:55 and it's the right deal, if it's Washington says, okay, Brad Beal's on the table or something like that, he's going to do it. I think he's going to do it. And I think that we're closer to that realistic possibility happening now more than ever before. But I'm with you in the sense that let's go 41-50. 49-51 that he will not get traded. Let's go there because that might make my life easier. What's the percentage chance the Cleveland Cavaliers do something at the trade deadline? Looks to be adding a guard-ish type of player. Asad, what's your percentage here?
I would say 45%.
Okay, Shaban.
I would say close to 60%. I think they
What does close to 60% mean?
like
59.99999.
So then why didn't you just say 58? Fuck you, man. You're a podcaster. Be better.
I'm just saying, man. I didn't want to put a direct number to it.
Why?
Look,
That's literally the exercise.
That's
we're doing
literally
right now.
what we do.
That's literally what we're doing. Kays, what's the percentage chance Cleveland makes a move here?
47.
I think it's a 90% chance Cleveland makes a move here. Something like an Eric Gordon or maybe even a Jeremy Grant if they're interested. I think that they definitely smell water in the blood in the Eastern Conference and feel like
Blood
they
in
could
the
at
water.
least. What did I say?
Water in the blood.
Thank you for that. Yes.
Yeah.
They smell blood in the water, and I think that there's a chance. There's a really good chance they make a move here.
So fun stat about Eric Gordon. He out of every isolation player who has logged more than 100 isolation plays, Eric Gordon logs 1.2 points per possession, which is the best in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you listened to Low Post earlier, didn't you? Because I think that they talked about this in the Low Post. Shout out Zach Lowe.
EG's been playing really well, and the Rockets want a first-round pick for him, which I think is deserved.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting a first-round pick, but that's besides the point. I think that as a Rockets fan, you think it's well-deserved. I think that Eric Gordon will be viewed as a hired gun brought in by a team that maybe won't keep him after the season, which is why the first-round pick is a bit harder to come by. I don't think Cavs are going to keep EG if they bring him in this before the deadline. Anyway, let's see. The Toronto Raptors are in the market to get a big man. What's the percentage chance they do actually get a big man? Asad.
30%. They've been trying this for a few years now, and it just hasn't seemed to be working for them. And I don't know what changes in the next 7 days.
Shaban?
I'm gonna go. It's like 60%. I think that they're going to, they still have a Goran Dragic dangling like for everybody, and they're also offering a first round pick on top of it. So there are plenty of guys you can get for it's assumed that like whatever team ends up getting Goran Dragic and takes the bait is probably going to cut him. They're really going to go for that Toronto first round pick.
Is it assumed, or are you as a Mavs fan hoping that he gets cut? Which one is it?
I mean, it's like a foregone conclusion.
Is
like,
it?
What he's making like what $20 million?
Yeah, right about there. I think it's 19 if I'm gonna nitpick you here.
Yeah, like he's not like any team that picks him up knows he's not worth $19 million. So they would probably like waive him, and if he ends in where he ends up in the buyout market,
we're like 55%, 60% of the NBA season. They're not gonna pay him 20 million. They're gonna pay him like half that now. He's worth 10 million.
Well, maybe.
Well, what do you mean maybe? If he's going to join the Dallas Mavericks, my assumption is that you believe him to be better than that anyway. So either you like him or you don't. And it sounds like you're kind of not sure anymore.
No, I mean, no. Like I don't know what team besides Dallas would pay to have him on
Cleveland.
Like, 10 million.
Cleveland would actually.
Cleveland would take Goran Dragic for sure.
Cleveland
would take
anybody
and everybody.
That's actually a good
any
point. Yes,
veteran, any decent veteran Cleveland would take for sure to help them with this playoff run.
Washington could use a Goran Dragic right about now. They would love to have a Goran Dragic. Anyway, Kaiz, we're talking about Toronto getting a big man. What percentage chance you throw on that, bro?
20%. Like Asad said, they've tried and failed.
Mm-hmm.
And watching that team, I genuinely do not believe they need one.
I think that's where I'm with. I kind of agree with you that unless it's the right big man, like a Miles Turner, that's really exciting. I don't actually think that they need to go grab a stopgap kind of player. I think they want something more permanent. So I think, I'll agree with you, Kaiz, 25%, sure. Right in between the both of you.
What they're doing right now with Pascal Siakam at the 5 works against most teams. You're going to run into the problem where you play an Embiid, Gobert,
a one of one, a literal one, right? A one of one.
Yeah, very few teams have a dominant big man like that, right? So you're going to play the odds, and offensively, it's clearly working, and that lineup right now is absolutely killing teams.
Yeah, Toronto has been, I think, shocking in the last, let's say, month of basketball. More so than, the start of the NBA season, we were like, oh yeah, they're a
dead in the water
or 2 years away, right? And now they picked it up. They
fired off that 6-game win streak in early in January,
and now they have 4 in a row again. So they're not they're not small win streaks. They're playing reasonable win streaks, and they're keeping them alive, which is genuinely impressive.
I heard this one comp. I want to, on a scale of 1 to 10, how ludicrous is this comp? 10 being Kaiz blasphemous. Okay, Scotty.
All right, keep going.
Oh my god, dude! Shots fired.
Scotty
now
Barnes.
That we're firing at will.
Scotty Barnes is Scotty Barnes the next Kawhi Leonard?
No.
The next Kawhi Leonard.
Just no.
1
it's
to 10.
Far too early to tell.
Okay.
Yeah, it's far too early.
I think you said blasphemy is a 10.
Yeah.
You're at a 14.
I think that I'm going to say it's like a 7, but here's why it's not like a 10, right? Kawhi wasn't Kawhi for like 3 or 4 years after he got drafted. Right. We have no idea. Paul George, for example, obviously not Kawhi, but another really great player, was not Paul George for the first few years of his career as well. Jaylen Brown, for example, was not Jaylen Brown until he was like 22, really, 23. Now he's 25, and now we're like, this is a household name. Not to say all these guys are on the same playing field, but really good players. Many of them, they take a little while to become themselves. So Scotty Barnes could become really great. I actually think Asad, OG, and Anunoby is closer to Kawhi Leonard than Scotty Barnes.
That's who I was thinking about, actually.
I kind of think he's more likely to be that guy. But I could be wrong. Look, I'd love to have both of them on my basketball team. Toronto's building something over there, and a couple years from now, it could be scary. Let's talk a little bit about the Charlotte Hornets. What are the percentage chances they finally grab themselves a legitimate big man and not a stopgap Plumlee brother? Kaiz.
27.
Awesome.
35%.
Shawan?
I'm in the same realm, 30%.
Man, why are you guys so down on this? I think there's like a 55% chance. I think there's more of a chance.
I think they're pursuing it, but I don't think they're willing to give up the youth.
I think that they are, and I think that their number one choice is still Miles Turner. And if it doesn't happen, I think they'll call Houston.
That's
and see
my
if
number
Christian
one
Wood-
choice.
Yeah, I think.
And
I think
as
so.
that team representative, we need
Oh,
to
okay.
pull the fucking trigger now.
I'm sure. By the way, hold on. Someone earlier in the podcast said he was like 3 months out. Where did we get that from?
Asad said that. I don't know where he got that.
No, I said he's been out for a while. I don't know if he's been out for 3 months. I think
Oh, okay.
the latest
Okay, you
report that I
threw
read
out
for,
the word. He's out for 3 months.
Oh no. He's expected early March right now is the target for him based off that foot injury.
He's
Okay,
being reevaluated after this weekend
You guys,
or All-Star weekend.
you guys, Asad and Shaban weren't here last week. We did the trade machine episode, KZI and our boy Darian. One thing I talked about, Kaz and I did, was that because Miles Turner is so young and can become a real building block for your basketball team, I would do the deal for him regardless of health or not. Because even if he's not okay right now, he at some point will be. And he will be the guy that we believe him to be. And Charlotte will have hit a home run with him. However, if they don't go get a Miles Turner, they could call Houston for Christian Wood. That's another guy who's probably available.
Even Daniel.
Honestly, I think it'd be more likely
You
that
can
Christian
keep
Wood ends up in
Tice.
Miami.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Shaban?
I think it's more likely that Christian Wood ends up in Miami. There's a lot of like momentum going on between like
For
Miami
what?
and Houston right now.
For
A package around Duncan Robinson apparently.
Duncan Robinson's 28 years old. No,
I don't think that makes sense.
no, absolutely not. That's a joke. Wherever you're reading that, report them, ban them, fine them, tie them up at the stake and burn them.
Block the website.
If Duncan Robinson gets traded as the centerpiece for a Christian Wood deal between now and the deadline, I'll shave my head. How about that?
I will go pack Rafael Stone's bags and ship him to some remote island.
I will leave the
Siberia.
podcast.
Let me in the building. We can't do this anymore. Anyway, Boston Celtics. What are the odds they make a deal? That could be Dennis Schroeder. That could be Marcus Smart. It could be tearing up their big two. Potentially, Asad.
I'm gonna go high on this one. I'm going 70%.
Okay. And which one is most likely if you do 70%?
I think Schroeder.
Yeah, to get under the luxury tax. That seems like a foregone conclusion, to be honest. Shaban, what percentage do you put on this? Let's say not including Dennis Schroeder now. Let's say Marcus Smart, big two, Robert Williams, not a Dennis Schroeder related move. Now, what percentage would you put here? Does it change?
No, I don't think it happens.
You don't think it? What percentage would that imply?
Like 20%.
Okay. So let me come back to you. That I've taken Dennis Schroeder out. Does your number change?
I think it drops a little bit, but not that much. I think it goes to 55%. I think Marcus Smart, if they can't find a deal with Dennis Schroeder, they're going to try. Boston needs to do something. And so I'm hoping that Brad Stevens has the goals to at least try to ruffle some feathers in there, because this team that they've built right now is not going to go far at all in the very competitive Eastern Conference now.
I'm glad you brought that up because we talked about that last week.
We did.
There are deals out there, but does Brad Stevens have the balls to do it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's at least worth questioning until he proves it wrong, right? It's not to say that he does or does not have the balls to do it. We literally don't know.
We don't know.
Shaban, let's say Dennis Schroeder is available, and let's say 3:55 deadline day next Thursday. You guys haven't, and when I say you guys, I'm talking about the Dallas Mavericks, haven't done anything. Would Dennis Schroeder be something that you're like, yeah, we'll take it into the trade exception. We'll play it out. He can be a guy off the bench or something like that. Would that be something that would satisfy you? Be like, okay, cool, that fixes an issue. Or are you just completely out on Dennis?
I'm not completely out on Dennis. I think that he can be successful in a limited role, but yeah, I mean, like if we can absorb him with like our trade exception, like we have like a $10 million trade exception. So if we can absorb him like with and just give some draft compensation back, not like necessarily a first round pick. Well, actually, I mean, maybe that first round pick is kind of useless as long as Luka's around, but yeah, I mean, I would be fine absorbing Dennis Schroeder and like have him play off the bench.
Yeah, word of advice: I would not trade a first round pick for Dennis Schroeder. But also, what do you think? Where could Dennis fit in the NBA? Cleveland, Dallas,
Cleveland. Yeah, any team with that needs a solid backup. Maybe even Portland. I don't know what the situation is with Damian Lillard if they decide to shut him down for the season, but maybe if
I think they should just pack it in. Just pack it in for the season.
I wouldn't if I was Portland, even if Damian is done for this, I'm just going to keep running with Simons. Why would I want Schroeder? I don't want minutes taken away from Simons. He's amazing.
Yeah, Anthony Simons has been balling lately.
Yeah, anyway. He wouldn't be a starter by any means, but someone to have coming off the bench.
Okay. Kaiz, what's the percentage chance Boston makes a move not Dennis Schroeder related?
60%.
What if Dennis comes back to Atlanta?
I'd cry.
Oh my God.
Next question.
Oh my God. Then all of our ball movement just stops.
I think that the chance the Dallas Mavericks, the Boston Celtics make a move not related to Dennis Schroeder is like 20%. I don't think they're going to do anything because I don't believe they need to do anything. The Atlanta Hawks, let's skip over them because I don't think John Collins is getting traded unless we have something to talk about here. I do think they need to make a move for what it's worth, but I don't know. The Washington Wizards, what percentage chance there's a Washington Wizards deal here in the books? Asad, real quick.
50-50 on this one.
Okay. Case?
Coin flip.
Coin flip. Shaban?
Yeah, coin flip and it's a Sabonis deal. Like
That's what I'm thinking.
like whether like if they do it, if they don't do it, like something's gonna happen.
I think 50-50. I think you guys have nailed it on the head. I don't have a better number. New York, Pacers, Pistons, Magic. Unlikely that I even care to talk about it. The Suns probably not making a deal. The Warriors probably not making a deal. Grizzlies. What are the odds the Grizzlies decide, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to go for it. Let's shoot for it. Shaban, what's the percentage chance you put on that?
You know what? I'm gonna give them a solid like 40% chance that like something's. I mean, like nothing like not necessarily that they're gonna try to rock the boat or anything, but I just think that I think the chemistry with that Grizzlies team is just so good that they can afford to just bring somebody in that can like bolster the team. I think they can bring in somebody like Eric Gordon, for instance. I think they can just like they're just one of those teams that's just like they were just one trade away, right?
So what's the percentage chance Memphis makes a move here?
I think 30%, and I think it's for somebody like either Eric Gordon or maybe even a Buddy Hield, just someone to help bolster some
Buddy
of
would
their
be
depth.
great.
Buddy
their
Hield
shooting.
would be
Buddy would be good.
amazing.
I'm going to go 20%. I think it's quite low. Case.
I'm with you on that one.
I'm Utah.
Hovering between 20 and 30.
Utah Jazz. Case, what percentage
0.
chance you thinking? 0. They got the Joe Ingles 11 million and a first round pick they could put together.
Yeah, I
Is
mean
Ingles
that
done?
Joe Ingles contract is only an expiring contract now. It's like he's
that's
done. He's
why.
done for this. He's done for
This
this
was a-
season and probably next season.
Yeah, this was a contract year for Joe Ingles?
Yeah, this is
Sadly.
a contract
His
year.
NBA career is likely.
But he's
over.
also 36.
34 years
34.
old.
Yeah.
34 years old. Is probably done. I think that the Utah Jazz, I think it's like a 55% chance they make a move here. I think they feel like they're not good enough to win an NBA championship. Dallas, Shaban, number?
I would say like 65%.
Okay. I would say like 40%. Asad,
Yeah.
I'm going 50-50 on this one too.
Case?
95%.
95. Jesus Christ. Denver, I don't think is making a move. Minnesota, we haven't really heard much. Clippers, we haven't.
I think
really heard too
Minnesota. I think there's some possibility with Minnesota.
much. What percentage chance do you think there's a possibility with Minnesota?
45.
64.
45%. Well, what have you heard? What have you read? What do you feel to give you that inkling?
So Patrick Beverly and Malik Beasley are the two pieces that Minnesota is dangling that they want to try to get.
I've been hearing that one too.
Something for the one rumor that I heard that Minnesota tried to offer, but Boston shut it down was Marcus Smart for P. Bev and Malik Beasley.
Interesting. I think Marcus Smart, I do have to say, is one of the hardest players in the NBA in the last couple of weeks to dictate what his true value is, at least in my opinion, because it truly is in the eye of the beholder, right? Like Boston, everything that Boston fans say is either he's the best thing ever or get him the fuck out of here. We're done with Marcus. It's very rare. They're like, yeah, he's fine. It's like either we love him or we hate him. And I don't know. Marcus Smart's kind of tough. Let's do the Clippers. Probably unlikely to make a move. If it is, it's shallow resetting would be my guess. The Lakers. What are the odds the Lakers make a trade before the deadline? Case
100%.
100%. Shaban.
I'm gonna say 75%.
Asad.
Yeah, the GM is taking some time to look at his trades right now. It's not really a knee injury. He's just looking at the block.
He's on the trade machine like me and you.
Yeah, 80%.
Yeah.
He's on 2K simulating rosters.
I think the
Simulating
odds of a
lineups.
trade being made are like 60%, but I think there's a good chance there's additions to the roster, even if it's not a trade. That I would put 100%. Portland, I don't want to talk about them. The Pelicans, Kings, Spurs, Thunder, Rockets. I mean, Rockets. Let's do Rockets real quick because there's a lot of rumors in the mill. Also, what's the percentage chance the Rockets make a deal likely to sell Eric Gordon or Christian Wood or supposedly Daniel Tice? I don't think anybody in the NBA wants him, but to sell, what is the percentage chance?
65%.
Okay, Shaban?
Daniel Tice.
No. Any of the guys, dude. Any of the dudes. Daniel Tice.
I would say like 40%.
Case?
I'm gonna say 0, but I want to throw in a fun fact.
Okay.
The Houston Rockets currently have statistically the worst offensive and defensive player in the NBA.
In Jalen Green.
Yes, sir.
No
I knew it.
way.
He is
No
statistically
way.
the worst
Yep.
offensively and defensively.
So basically,
37% field goal percentage, 29% from 3. In his last 6 games, he is shooting sub 22% from the field.
Minus yesterday's game where I went to go watch him and he played really well actually. So maybe I should just go to all Rockets
yeah,
games.
you should just go to all the
Buy
Rockets
season
games.
tickets.
He has
And guess
my-
what? Rockets 8-7 without him, 6-29
Yes.
without him.
Yes.
So
With him, sorry, with him.
So basically, Jalen Green is Trae Young right? Because we gave Trae Young a lot of shit, and then he turned up. So let's see, Jalen Green. Maybe the turnaround is coming.
So
He is
Rockets,
He has -1 win shares.
Yeah, Rockets fans on Twitter especially there's a lot of bust and he's terrible, all that stuff being thrown around. I think it's too early.
You can't
Yeah,
legally drink. Can we give him 5 minutes?
Yeah,
Can we let him figure his game out? It takes time.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
totally fine. There's no reason.
And
to
also,
lose
I
weight.
think it's because he's overshadowed by Mobley, is because of how phenomenal Mobley has been, and he was picked right after him. But he took it to him and Mobley went back and forth yesterday. Rockets, Cavs, they both played really, really well, and so
for
Jalen played
what
with a
it's
chip on his
worth, and this clip could go down in infamy for me. I don't think there will be ever a point in Jalen Green's career that he is better than Evan Mobley. However, that does not mean that Jalen Green cannot be a really great
No,
or
we
even
gonna
better than
fucking
great
double down.
NBA player in history, right? But Mobley is a legit, like, he's going to be a thing forever. Mobley probably could have got all-star shouts this year if it wasn't for Garland and Jared Allen. Mobley is something
100%.
else. He's different. He's just different.
Also, I do have a clip that will live famously throughout time. Once Safe gets it out for me and published.
Whatever, I publish it. Yeah, at some point. We're gonna wait till the trade deadline, then we'll publish it. Why not? Anyway, I feel pretty good. I think the trade deadline could be fun. Oh, by the way, Rockets. I think there's 100% chance they make a deal. I think Eric Gordon is getting traded to the highest bidder at 3:58 p.m. on deadline day, no matter who it is. I think they're just trying to move him at this point because he deserves better, and I think they want to do right by the player. That's why. Anyway, I think the next time we talk to you, listener, we'll do trade deadline recaps and reactions, and then Kay's can finally do one more episode with me about it, and then put it to rest until probably the summer
Not
or even late.
next year till like July.
Yeah. So Kay's, you only have one more week of this trade deadline stuff, and then we'll have more basketball things to talk about. Really, really quickly before we go, boys. Most surprising team of the NBA season so far to you, Kay's, is
Cavs.
okay. Not the Cavs, Asad, any other team.
Memphis. I didn't think Memphis's growth would be this fast.
Fair enough. Not the Memphis or the groups. Not the Memphis or the Cavs. Shaban.
Chicago.
These are all.
Like,
these are great
thought
picks,
Charlotte-
boys.
I thought Chicago would
Toronto.
be good. I didn't think they'd be like #1 seed in the East. Good.
Philly without Ben Simmons.
Philly
For
without
me,
Ben Simmons, yeah.
Golden State to be the second best team in the Western Conference before Clay even really got there, where they were #1 for a bit. Shocking. I think when we went into the NBA season, Golden State was a fringe-ish playoff team. We're talking maybe 6, 7, 8, 9.
We had him at 6, I think, or
Yeah,
7.
and they're arguably the best team in the NBA on any given night. Obviously, Phoenix would like to have something to say about that, but otherwise, they're really fucking good at basketball. Anyway, listener, thank you for listening to another episode of the Waterboy and Equipment Manager podcast. We'll see you next week for trade deadline reactions. See ya.
Peace.
Later.
Bye.
We'll be right back.